night of Giggity Racing. I'm again privileged to be back here in the booth. Something I haven't got to do very often. Is not only race against him, but have the Commander-in-Chief, Kate Taddy, in the booth. We also have Arch. We have Shadow Grim. MP Rupert's on the way, guys. Darlington, Martinsville, Xfinity. Talked to a lot of these guys pre-race. They're not excited about both these tracks, and you have to drive both these tracks way different. It's a technical track. Long way to go in each one.
Yeah, both these tracks are going to be real difficult in different ways. Actually, at Darlington, you need to be at the upper side of the track, almost right next to the walls. The higher, the better. Try to carry absolutely as much momentum as you possibly can without nicking that wall, you know, and it's a real difficult track, and there's not a lot of room to pass. It's a real narrow, thin way. And then they're going to be headed to Martinsville. The exact opposite. You do not want to carry much speed into the corners. You want to get woe down as quick as you can to be able to roll through the corner, get back on the throttle as soon as possible. But you can't be to the high side. If you go to the high side, you're probably going to get, 6, 7 cars are going to pass you, if not more, all at once. So these are going to be two really interesting racetracks. And I know we have a Jay Wood in here who showed in a hot seat for the Custom Cup Series. He ran Darlington, had one of the top cars, him and Noco. Also, real quick, there's no Jake here tonight. Jake is being the points leader in this series.
Yeah, I was just going to say real quick, not to cut you off there, but Kate Taddy had some interesting news. Every point counts tonight for these guys because it is coming down to the end of the season. And Kate Taddy, with that news, he dropped the bombshell on all of us there, guys. What do you think, man? These drivers have a great shot at, if you can pull the double, making up a lot of points on old Jake, who is super fast.
Well, do we know why Jake's not here tonight? Did he get held up at work or something?
No, so Jake is battling. This is a big issue. It's been happening countrywide right now. The flu, the influenza is crazy. Jake's not feeling so good. He wrote me around 9 o'clock this morning, so that he wasn't sure. He was going to try to sleep it off, but he might still be sleeping at race time. And apparently that's the issue. Is I've had a few people ask me, "Where's Jake? Where's Jake?" Now here's a cool note about that. Jake has been really dominant on our Thursday night Xfinity Series. I think he's won all but 3 races. Then we had a newcomer in Jay Wood, won this second race last week. So there hasn't been a whole lot of multiple winners. Now, with that said, without Jake in the field, are we going to see Pendle get the win? Are we going to see Woodruff with another victory? Can Jay Wood pull it off? Or are we going to see somebody new? Maybe Robbie Vids, maybe Boomhauer. Some of these guys that we're not usually seeing getting these victory circles. I'm really interested to see who we're going to get to interview at the end of these races today.
Well, it's definitely a big opportunity for them guys, and I definitely want to say hope you get better, Jake, man. Definitely going to miss seeing you out here dominating these races, man.
I was just going to say the same thing. If you're out there listening, Jake, lots of water, lots of orange juice, lots of Theraflu, buddy. Get your rest. And Kate Taddy, right beforehand, if you could tell, he's not sounding up to par. So, yeah, it's that time of year, guys. So, first and foremost, everybody be careful. Get your flu shots. Kate Taddy, we want you to get better, and definitely you too, Jake. Get better out there. We can't see you get back out here and dominate. And I was going to pull a couple of dark horse names out as the commentators like we normally do, and you just hit 2 of them for me, Boomhauer and Robbie Vids. Not just because of an emotional attachment with these guys. They are both super fast and super clean, so let's see how those guys do. Those will be my 2 dark horses for Darlington.
Mine's going to be Jay Wood. Don't. I was really impressed with him, with the way that he ran with Noco last time at Darlington in the Cup Series. For his hot seat, he did amazing. So I really expect to see him up front battling for this win today.
Darlington, we're going to be talking about it a lot. Kate Taddy, you being one of the Cup drivers, a couple of us down there in truck. The Darlington strike will be a fact, and the fact that it's hard to pass here.
Hold on. Somebody's got the broadcast in the background. I can hear the echo. All right, go ahead, Puddin'. You can finish what you're saying.
Oh, yeah. I mean, still getting a little bit of an echo here, guys. We apologize for the technical difficulty. We'll get it fixed for you. There we go. Darlington, Darlington being here, guys, hard track to pass. You want to be up as high as you wall with that Darlington stripe. Obviously, we'll be on every one of these cards. You can see it coming, but difficult track to pass that. And as many great guys as we got, these guys are going to be fighting for every position as quick as they can off of every restart, because that's when you're grouped up the most before they spread out.
That's actually a big concern, though. Both these tracks are the types of tracks, they're so technical. that you don't need to make that pass right there at the beginning. They're both hard tracks to pass, but they're so technical that make passing to 6 cars on the restarts is not as important as it is riding around behind these guys, letting them make their own mistakes. I know at Darlington for sure they're going to go into the corners a little hot, roll up, scrape that wall, or they're going to try to stay down too low. And by doing that, they're going to spin out on the apron. So there's different mindsets here, and I'm hoping that not everybody has the mindset, like you had just said, of trying to pass as much as possible. Because if they do, there won't be much racing. It's going to be a lot of cautions.
So that's the big thing about it. You want to race the racetrack, not the racer. Go ahead, Shadow. I apologize.
Oh, no, that was Arch. But, no, that's the big thing about it, man. Like, I treat Darlington like I do a road course. I back up the corners, man, and I let the other drivers make mistakes. You don't know how many times you can gain positions by other guys overdriving their cars, and that's the big thing about it. You manage your tires here, you're going to gain spots in the long run, and it's a heck of a lot easier to pass guys when they're on beat-up tires.
That strategy worked for you at Canadian Motorsports Park. You said, I'm going to stay back. I'm going to let these guys make their mistakes and work my way to the front and still be fast. Maybe that's something these guys should go, go back and look at your broadcast and take that too. There's going to be different strategies tonight, Taddy, Arch, and Grim. Let's see how it all plays out. Everyone is in this series for a reason. It is a technical track. Not too excited, but race that racetrack, not the racer. Find your braking points, and even though there's somebody in front of you, think your braking points.
I'm sorry, Puddin'.
And I'll watch it from the broadcast.
I sent you guys invites so you guys can accept those the moment you get them.
If there's anybody up there, I'll be more than happy to step out of the booth and let you guys call it tonight if there's only a couple spots available.
No, hey, honestly, you're more than welcome to be in the booth, bud.
Yeah, I'll watch it from the sideline, Puddin'.
But because of the way everybody does that here in Giggity Racing, you'll be able to do that just like everybody out there. I've been talking to quite a few people again today. Hey guys, get on that YouTube. Come watch it. They've all been intrigued. As K-Taddy, I've been sending him some people who have been interested. They found us on there. We've raced with them, so this is a great opportunity as we're getting ready to go here, guys.
It's always a great opportunity here at Giggity, man. A lot of these guys don't really race in real life, never get the name called over the PA. And for some of the guys that are older here that don't really get into racing as much anymore and can still sit here and have some fun on a video game, that was the biggest draw to Giggity for me, was to be able to hear my name called. So for a lot of you guys that want to get out there and get some notoriety for yourself, this is a really good way to do it.
I'm not going to lie. I go back and listen to this broadcast to see my name too, but go ahead, Taddy.
Sorry, looks like we're under green here now. Jay Wood has got the lead over. Looks like the 08 of D. Smith with the 11 of Pendle right behind. D. Smith, he's another one of those dark horses. We don't talk about him a whole lot, but I've been staying intact here with the Xfinity Series, and he is one of our top 5 competitors in this division. So looking to see if maybe he can't get himself in the victory circle without his teammate of Jake being out there.
Oh, no doubt. D. Smith's definitely
looking
fast.
At 51, though. Love that Rowdy Burns and Jay Wood, too, guys.
Got Woodruff over here in 4th, and it looks like Motorsports in the 8-car runner, rounding out our top 5 as we just get started here at Darlington Speedway.
Starting to thin themselves out. They were trying to find that line. Everybody knows this is a very fragile track. You want to race this track like you're on eggshells. One small mistake, you clip that below that white line right there. It's spotted white line. That apron can definitely fix you and anybody else around you. So everybody on eggshells. Oh, watching Woodruff. Oh, right there. Gets into it. Believe me. D. Smith. Woodruff around on the front stretch. A little bit of an accident as we're talking about it, guys.
Yeah.
Seeing this on tracks.
Let's keep in mind, guys, this is a custom setup race. I know from experience, it looks like we're under caution. So back to what we were saying, I know for experience, I was there last night. I seen it in the Cup Series. It happens every week. Some of these drivers just don't have the time to get on and be able to practice or make a setup, but they still want to be involved in this Thursday night racing. And so we have captains, we have teams, we all make setups, and we'll share them with anybody on our team, not a big issue. The issue at hand is my setup is how I like driving the car. I don't know how you like driving the car, so when I throw you a setup, it might be trash. But because you only had 10 minutes to get online, you might throw that setup in and get out there, and then I might like it loose, you might like the car tight, and so you can't handle it. But looks like so far we've had a little bit of issues, but this is also a hard track as you get ready to go green again. Jay Wood on the outside.
I love that point that
Darlington.
you brought up, man, is people have given me their setups in the past, and I didn't like it, you know. It was a good base setup for me to get from mine. I had to take theirs and tweak it quite a bit, but it was a good base setup. So yeah, exactly. That's a good setup, a good observation, Teddy.
Jay Wood bounced off. Got into the wall coming off two. Collects Edco, and I'm not sure who that blue car was. Maybe Bulk Crusher. As it looks like we're going to go under caution number 2 here at the Darlington Speedway. Now this isn't unheard of. A lot of times in these types of races, you know, stage 1, people are going to feel their car out, see how hard they can push on restart. At these hard, difficult tracks, they tend to be more caution-filled. I'm looking for maybe stage 2, maybe stage 3. This race should calm down a little bit, and we'll get some good green flag running.
This is a good opportunity, though, if you don't like that custom setup, to go in there. You can't go in and adjust your shocks and springs and all that stuff, but make a wedge adjustment, you know, put some tape, a little tire pressure, tweak on that custom setup just a little bit if you're not 100% happy with it yet. Some of these guys might have went for a long run. Some of these guys went for a short run. Everybody's strategies are different, on, like you said, on how they like the car and their driving style.
Jay Wood, who was our pole sitter, looks like he's going to round out the field now. Starting last is the 11, Jake's teammate of No Pit Pendle, is at the point right now with D. Smith behind him. But is that little man on the outside dropping down in front of D. Smith? No, that's Dark Knight in the 85. That's another one of our dark horses.
Back here battling, guys. I'm following on boards with Robbie Vince. He just had a great evasive maneuver to avoid that situation. 2 cars hard into the wall. I think Eto was in that again. Unfortunate for Eto, one of our leaders. Oh, look at this. Cars are spun backwards. 2, 3 of them going into the corner, guys. Another caution. If that doesn't bring out a caution, I don't know what will. Unfortunate.
So that goes back to what we were talking about here just before the race got going with the difficulty of the track. That didn't look like a hit each other kind of caution. That looked more to me, you know, like I was saying, if you're getting too close to that wall and catching it, you'll try to correct that by going as low in the corners as you can. But if you get down below that dotted white line for too long, it's going to pull your car around. And unfortunately, that happened at the beginning of the pack and took out more drivers with it.
Shadow, Grim, what do you guys think? Once these guys get Shadow and Arch, once they get spread out, do you think these guys will be obviously a lot faster, but do you think these guys don't know what their car's going to do? What does that do to you as a driver, knowing that you don't know what your car's going to do on long runs right now?
Well, to me, I mean, I like to take my time and be conservative. So for a lot of this driving styles, I like to spread out, just take the time to learn what my car is going to do, where I can push it, where I can't. And I think that's what we're seeing here is a lot of guys are still in that unknown stage and just trying to get a little bit too much too early, and I'm sure it'll calm down here after about 15, 20 laps, and these guys get tired of being under caution. And,
I will say... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I will say what I like seeing about all these cautions that are coming out is once we do get some green flag running, you're not... The guys that are fast from qualifying, they're not going to be on the same set of tires, same fuel strategy. Everybody's going to be on different. If you're going caution, I might think, oh, well, the whole stage is going to be a caution, so I'm going to try not to pit and just make it throughout the end without getting tires. Then you'll have those guys that want 4 tires every pit stop because they're towards the rear. And so if it does widen out where we start getting some green flag laps, some of the guys that qualified in the rear might be the fastest cars on the track.
And we're under caution once again, guys. I was following along with Boomhauer there. I didn't see anything that would have done it, but obviously there was something big enough to do it. So, again, if you're involved in one of these, go get yourself 4 fresh bolognas, belly fuel, get that damage fixed, get yourself to the back of the pack. And what Arch was saying earlier, you know, maybe bide your time, have some patience here. It is a tough track to drive. We've said it a lot tonight. Just patience is a virtue sometimes, but we're getting ready to rack them and stack them and go back under green flag, guys.
I do like G9 Gamer chose to have the duct tape number 2 Chevrolet out there. I think that's a pretty good paint scheme for the track that they're at and how this racing's gone. D. Smith down on the apron, holding down. Robbie Bridge is spinning.
I think he's going to have to go under a concussion protocol for that one, as hard as he hit. Hopefully that Honda will work for him. They're still going, though. No
Yeah,
caution.
unfortunately for Robbie and the guys collected in that, there is not a caution on the speedway right now, so we might get that spread out now. You know, I've actually told a lot of drivers this in the past. Sometimes I hate to see it happen, but sometimes it takes those cautions like that. You know, the wrecks where a caution doesn't come out to get the field spread out. You know, it really stinks for those that are involved, but for the racing, it's one of the best things there is. Really wish that the game didn't have that, you know, delay where 5-6 cars could get in a wreck and no caution, but it is what it is. You take what you got, and looks like no pit pendle up here in this 11 Ray Besto's Chevy Camaro is doing a great job holding off the rest of the pack.
Oh, Pendle, he always does a good job week in and week out. He's really been overshadowed by Jake, and a lot of these drivers have. I mean, we got a lot of fast drivers, but when you got a driver the competition level of Jake, it really highlights one driver. And
we have a spinner.
Oh, yeah,
sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
So entering tonight, you know, Jake has 900 plus points, and Woodruff is in second in points, followed by our number 11, Pendle. Like you were saying, you know, he is a consistent upfront driver. Pedal to the metal, Pottles League. He was their Xfinity Series champion, so I mean, the guy knows how to get it done, and he's at 600 plus points. Again, we talked about this. A perfect night is 120 points for the two races, 60 per each race. 120 cuts into 300 pretty quick. With only 4 weeks remaining, that makes it a manageable pickup to be able to get yourself back into this points battle. And if you're somebody like Woodruff, he's just on the outside of he's at like 220 points behind Jake. So 120 points puts him within 100. Definitely easy to manage. And Jake's sick. Who's to say he'll even be back here next Thursday?
Well, and that's the thing about it. I mean, in competition levels and leagues like this, man, you've got to take every opportunity you can get, whether it's a driver having an accident or a driver being sick and not being able to make it or not being able to get off work in time. And so this is a big opportunity for some of you guys to close that gap, and it's going to definitely make it for a closer battle heading into the end of this points day.
We got him racked. We got him stacked, guys. Another caution came back out. Everybody's car's fixed. More fresh in that belly full. They're going back under green. Going into turn one. Cars diving low. Cars are starting to slow down a little bit. Let that lead pack in front of them spread out. The car's going a little bit low in the white line. Still 2-3 wide. Looks like they're going to make it through 1 and 2 this time. Oh, as I watched Jay would get into the wood in that 51 car, guys. Just a little bit. As Boomhauer says, come on, I'm pushing ya.
I don't know if everybody else has seen it. There's a blue car out there. I was seeing a little bit of lag as he was going up through one of the custom cars. I can't find it now. Oh, bolt crash in the 58. After Jay would got in the wall, it looked like he had a little bit of lag.
No, Pit Pendle's up here. That's another guy. Raced with him quite a bit, as we all have. He's up here in the lead. He's got some clean air. You still got a lot of people behind him, but having nobody in front of you, it gives you a better opportunity to hit your marks and get around this tough track, guys. So, Pit Pendle, our leader in that beautiful 11 car right now.
G9 Gamer makes a pass on Woodruff Sport down below as Dark Knight tries to follow and do the same as they enter 1 and 2.
Yep. Woodruff was involved in one of those earlier unfortunate accidents. It looks like he's got his way back up to 4th, following right on board with him right now, guys. Woodruff is a name that we say quite a bit. We all know his talent. Let's see if he can pull a rabbit out of the hat tonight, guys.
Ed, though, looks like he's trying to go by the 21 of a Bob. Successfully does it, but I've been watching that 22 car, that 22 Ford Mustang, and he's having one of those issues that causes a lot of wrecks. He's pushing the car to the limits like we talked about, and on the exit of these corners he seems to be real loose, and it's dropping down below into the center of the track. And I don't mean the racing surface, I mean the actual track about halfway down on the pavement, which tends to bring a lot of issues. And if somebody tries passing him down on the low side when he gets loose like that, it's almost a guaranteed wreck.
Oh,
Once
yeah,
again,
there's
guys,
a
we're at
lot of times
Darlington.
you catch the wall with that right rear, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Custom setups, a lot of time invested in this track, a lot in these races on custom setups. Taddy, you know that. How frustrating is it to go a week and design this? We got another spinner right here. Looks like it's the 51. That's Jay Wood again. He gets tagged. Oh, and Boomhauer gets taken out too. I think that was after the caution, though. How frustrating is it to go and have a custom setup like that and find one that works for you, and come to find out it's not up to par, or you just don't actually get a chance to use it?
Well, so all right. First off, real quick on the custom setups, I don't know if these guys do it, but I know that, for example, me and Noko, we tend to mess with each other a little on the custom cup side. Yesterday, me and Noko, we got into a practice lobby. He wanted to see what I had at Gateway, and he wanted to see what I had at Vegas. I had two setups for both tracks. One setup's not fast, one setup's pretty good. I don't know if you seen me at Gateway last night, but I was running in the top 3 most of the night. Noko still beat me, but the setup that I put in on our practice, I couldn't even get it to go straight. So he was kind of laughing. Yeah, I seen that. He has some bad lag issues. So, it's frustrating when you think, people will play games with you. You might think that you have a really fast car, then come race time, you don't. At the same time, the opposite issue, this 51 of Jaywood, he had the fastest car on the track and qualified, and he's running around in the back of the pack. So,
Epic gets fun, guys. Again, Boomhauer gets incorporated in this. The black and blue number 3. These guys are probably getting a little frustrated. I don't know if I would want to be their crew chief or in their chat party right now, as much of the tempers are going to fly a little bit. We haven't made it to the stage end yet, I don't think, and these guys are very uncharacteristic amount of yellow flags for Giggity, guys.
Yeah, and the worst part of this is actually, this is the easiest of the 2 tracks tonight.
I agree with that, That's alright, guys. Everybody stay cool. Keep your patience. It's a long race. Everybody knows that. K-Taddy, being one of the team captains, you do a great job with your team on helping them with strategy and keeping calm. I know the rest of the captains are out there doing the same with these guys. They just got to focus a little bit, and not push that issue so soon. It is hard to pass here, but wait for that opportunity to arise.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we were talking about at pre-race, if everybody has the mindset of they have to pass right now, you're going to have this issue. I know for one, I don't do that. If I see guys going side by side in front of me, I'm going to lift. I'm going to give them extra room, so if they do make contact, when one of them gets loose, they have time to recover before I come plowing into their rear end. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about, respect on the track. Some of these guys are new, as we have a crash down here. Little man is spun out, but the respect on the track is most important, and it looks like we have a little bit of that right now. As it spreads out like it is here, you're going to have good racing, but still, when people hit that wall or they're slow, you got to know when to lift and let them in line, and when it's going to be an easy pass.
Well, we definitely have to say, I mean, you've been the prime example of that, not only in the asphalt leagues, but in dirt leagues too, because you're one of the guys that it doesn't matter where you qualify, where you start, you wind up having a decent day unless something happens towards the end of the race.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to. I don't know how many times I've finished in the top 3, and at the end of the race, I had the slowest lap time of the whole field. Hit your marks, consistency. The rest of it's going to fall in place. The race will come to you by just simply hitting your marks consistently. RJ Smitty last night, for example, in the Cup Series, both races, he had some issues. One of the fastest cars out there, even qualified on the pole for Vegas, but the car's on the edge and not being able to handle. He might have a really, really fast car for 3 laps and then spin out and wreck. And I avoided that wreck and I beat RJ Smitty. That's all it takes is let the race come to you. Let people make the mistakes. Don't be the one making the mistakes.
Well, and that's something that we called out in the broadcast. I mean, I said, I don't know how many times I kept calling it out last night. I could just see that car keep getting loose, and it seemed like he never backed it down to help the car's handling it, and it definitely made for a bad day for him.
Yeah, it's funny actually because Smitty and I were actually on the same setup, and so that car was just as loose for me as it was for him, but coming off of 2 is where it was real bad. And coming off 2, I've toyed the throttle and I just kind of let it drift and make its way up, whereas he was trying to stay up there and throttle it and stay up there with the leaders, and I just let the leaders go and to save my handling. So I didn't have the big spin out issues that he was having.
MP Rupert, welcome to the booth, buddy. Always glad to have you up here, man.
Thanks, brother.
Hey, Rupert. You're gonna have to watch the broadcast.
It was a 7 smashes into the wall on the front
stretch. I just saw that too. The 7 hit real hard. Watching Jay would go underneath that though, right there in turn 1.
Rupert, they only allow 20 drivers, so
gotcha. I think I can get in. I can.
No. You won't be able to get in. The lobby's only allowed 20 drivers.
Hey, if
Yeah,
you
you
join
can
through
watch
my
the
broadcast, you can come through
That's
it.
yeah, that's what I'm
Oh,
doing.
I believe
Archangels.
Yeah.
Big
that
wreck,
just spun out
massive
right
wreck.
now. Yeah. And like you guys were saying, sometimes the tortoise does, the tortoise and the hare. We all know the story. Sometimes it's best to be that tortoise, not be the fastest, but be most consistent. And it is racing, so luck does have a little bit, to play. But patience and be that tortoise. We all know how that works out. We're back under another flag, guys. This
I
is a
don't
really
think I've ever had the fastest lap at a track, but coming out of the end of the races, having top fives, top sevens, that's my favorite thing, man. That's a win for me.
Actually, so running the dirt series has helped me tremendously on the fact of at the end of a dirt race, and Angel, he can vouch for this. I'm maybe the 10th fastest car in the dirt series. Every race, week in, week out, one of the top 10 cars, but I'm not one of the top 5 in speed. However, my average finish in the dirt series is around 4th place. And it's not because of I'm stupid fast randomly throughout there. It's simply because I focus more on hitting my marks, and I don't worry whatsoever about what other cars are doing. And that's so huge in all of racing that we just need that to get through in a few more people's mindset.
Oh, that's
I'm
that's
glad-
definitely the thing.
Robbie
That's a good
Bates
point.
lead here.
I've never, I've qualified on the pole maybe once, twice, but I'm not a very good qualifier, but I'm more of like Teddy, like he said, consistency. You hit that same lap over and over and over, it's going to pay off, to get those top fives. Yeah.
Well, you
Woodruff
keep
going
your
under
car
Robbie Bates
clean.
here for the lead. Sorry to interrupt you guys. We just got a three-way battle for the lead here. Some
Oh,
green
no,
flag
you're fine.
laps. No pit handle follows Woodruff and goes under Robbie Bates.
I'm watching Jay Wood work his way up through the field here over, he's doing a good job trying to make through all this traffic, taking his time.
It's looking like Robbie got the lead on pit strategy. He must have stayed out when others pit because he just doesn't seem to have the speed to be able to stay up there with these guys. Pendle to
He
the
was
lead.
really,
As he goes
he
down
was saying
below
he was
and passes
struggling on
Woodruff.
these tracks today.
Well,
yeah,
I'll tell
Robbie,
you
one of
what,
the
I
people I
like to
talked to
struggle
earlier,
being
he
in the
wasn't
top
happy
three.
about running these tracks.
All I gotta
Both.
say is struggling and being in the top 3. It's a pretty good show. Dark Knight gets down below the white line and he spins out right
And
in
I
front
think
of
he
the
took Jay Wood.
Yep, Jay Wood. I'm on board with Jay Wood right now. Hey, real quick, just for everybody out there in YouTube world, Taddy, you explained it to me last night. Some people don't know how the trucks do come up, or the tracks, the lineup comes. Explain how Giggity picks the tracks for each night's race.
All right, so we have multiple captains and admins here at the Giggity Racing League, and so Edzo, Robbie Vids, and Trey, they're all in this race tonight. They're admins, they're captains. However, again, they're racing Xfinity. So what we try to do is we try to distribute the schedules. So I'm not making each series schedule, so not everybody can yell at me for their bad schedule. What we do is we have a different admin do a different race. Coming into next season, for example, Edzo is making the custom cup schedule for Wednesday nights. I believe Little Man made the who's in this Xfinity race. I believe him. Maybe Robbie made the schedule for the preset Cup series. Xfinity is being made by Cup drivers, and then we have somebody making the Truck series. But what we're trying to do is make a schedule according by somebody that's not in the racing, so it's not lopsided or favored to their tracks. And we're trying to break it up and get a good mix of everything. Are these two hard tracks? Yes, they are. But you might have a week of hard tracks like this, and then you might have like an Atlanta and a Vegas week. Like a nice, easy, good draft, good pass. But now that we're in league-wide, we're in our playoff time frame. Although this series doesn't have playoffs, playoff time frame to me says, which, by the way, Thursday and Saturday run the same two tracks. Playoffs to me says it's technical driving now. It's to see who's the technical driver and who deserves that championship. And that's why these are the two tracks on the schedule right now. Come this Saturday when we have people getting eliminated in the playoffs, I want to see the technical guys advance. You know what I mean?
And that's a great explanation, yeah, and I love how they do that too. So if you race in a series, you can't pick that track. That way you can't pick one of your favorites for you or your team. And I love how you guys do that.
Well, I didn't say you can't pick it for your team. I said you can't pick it for yourself.
Got a couple cars just spun around there. I don't know if they're lagging. Yeah.
It looked like there was a lag.
Right.
Hey, real quick, so Roofer, this is one of the tracks that you tend to have a pretty good showing at. Where's your passing zones at Darlington?
Really, entry and hope somebody makes a mistake. Just kind of sit on their bumper and hope that they kind of overrun the corner and you can get up underneath them. It's really hard to pass here, though.
Angel, same question to you. Do you have kind of the same mindset, or is your passing zone kind of on entry and get side by side?
Well, the thing about it is, for me, is you guys know I back up my corners a lot. So the entry of a corner for me is never a passing zone. For me, it is always middle off, where I can get underneath somebody as they ran it too hard through the middle of the corner, or coming off, I get to run down the straightaway with a little bit of the help of the draft and stuff like that, and then maybe I'll already be under them going into the next corner. But you'll never see me, drive it hard into a corner unless I'm going for a win, which doesn't happen often.
So I really like that answer because I'm the same way. I want to lift early. I give up the entrance to have a good off exit, and to me, that's when you can really get the run. The guy that drives it in real hard is usually going to nick the wall, and because of that, you're going to be able to get side by side and have that run off where they have no straight speed.
Well, I mean,
at the same time, if I'm side by
Go
side
ahead.
on entrance, that's when I'm going to lift and let them go. I don't want to be side by side on entrance. I want to, again,
No.
like we talked about, I want to focus on hitting my own marks. So I can't hit my marks if somebody else is at my mark.
Well, that's an example for like Robbie and stuff like this. When we were just Canadian Tire, like he said, I started dead last, finished sixth, and he flew by me. He probably took 4 or 5 car lengths on me going into the carousel. People are smashing into the back end of my car, going into it, and it's like, I know that where I can hit my lines to be successful, and that's the only thing I care about when it comes to racing. When it comes to me hitting my marks and me making my car feel comfortable and happy and making it through the runs, that's the way I'm successful.
Yeah, that's all you can do is really do what the best you can. You really can't control what the guy behind you is going to do, and just like you said, hope that their breaking point's close to the same breaking point as yours. And
On that note, I'm also going to say that Darlington might be the track with 0 passing zones in it whatsoever. As our leader, No Pit Pendle gets loose coming off 4s. It looks like Woodruff's going to make a run on him, but unable to get there. We finally got some good green flag racing, not such a wreck fest here. Pendle and Woodruff look like they're the 2 cars to beat tonight. Again, a lot of that might have to do with the fact that Jake's out, but again, these guys are just killing it. Is that Robbie Vids sitting there in 3rd?
Yep, I'm following Robbie Vids right now, following in 3rd, and he is slowly but surely, methodically making his way to the front. I just saw where Pit Pendle got a little loose off that corner and was able to maintain it with Woodruff. Robbie Vids involved in some early race altercations, maybe some pitch strategy and everything, getting up here into the top 3. Good to see him up there now.
Looks like we're under caution now.
The thing it looked like to me
this
that Robbie
track-
did is that Robbie wanted to get away from the storm. He wanted to get himself where he could get some good lines and run his marks and hit his times. And as a consistency, that's one good thing I like about Robbie and my new team captain is that he drives smart. And he put himself in a position where, he may not be as fast as the front runners, but he'll let them go by so he can sit there and get his marks going and start hitting where he wants to start hitting on the track.
Hey, quick correction. Robbie is not your current team captain. You are still an underdog member until this season.
You're right. And I'm gonna still try and come do some. I like to do partnerships with Underdog, man. I love you guys. I appreciate you bringing me in the league, and man, you've been such a good team leader.
I just had to throw it out there, man. I heard you say my new captain. You ain't got no new captain yet.
Not
Well,
yet.
see,
not yet.
I can't thank everybody for Underdog enough. Like I said, kind of riding solo Monday night. And I appreciate the love and friendship I have with all of you guys. Underdog said, we're not going to let you go out there and go be solo in a chat party. And Team Underdog took me under their wing, invited me to their party. So I had some people. So I really do appreciate that. Thank you guys very much, man.
Oh,
no team here at all is going to let people run by themselves. I know Boomhauer from Underdog tonight. He's the only Underdog driver. We also have Tommy Armorboy in the 7 is the only one for RJ Smitty Motorsports. DSR reached out and is allowing both them to be in their chat tonight. So, that's just how it is. Nobody here wants to let people be all by themselves.
Well, that's something we talked about last night.
We have a G9 Gamer sitting here in 3rd in this 2 car. I just want to say big shout out to the Giggity family here. A couple weeks ago, he had no PlayStation. And him and his... Deborah, let's just go with Deborah. They had some issues, personal issues that they were unable to financially get him a PS. They had just gone through a move. He didn't have the game. He reached out and, he just simply asked the Giggity Racing League if he could get some help. And within a couple hours, he had the money and was on his way to go get the PS4. On the same day, our own in here, MP Roofer, was having some financial struggles, needed a couple bucks, and he posted. I think within 20 minutes, he had the money that he needed, Not that we're all about money, but we're all about helping each other out. And that's what this breaks down to is the family.
We love it. We love it. We proved it last night how much of a family it is, the things that we do for our drivers. I personally, myself, have went out of the way. We had a driver that wasn't going to be able to make one of our league nights in dirt. And he was one of our fastest plays. There was a time where, if you can't... Oh, is just Ed, though, just smashed into the side of 7. Or is that a lag?
I think it might be a little lag. But I tell you what, on that note, Taddy, I think it's kind of like you reap what you sow. Earlier in the year when Robbie was doing, those charity races.
Gosh races.
All right. And I was in a little better financial situation. I donated $100 to, that children's hospital. And then, when I fell on hard times, the karma come right back to me, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Bulk and Ed right there just got into a big one. I figured the caution would come out, but...
Man, this
it's so hard to go race with anybody else.
On the front stretches, here comes the leaders.
Yep, he's supposed to still spun around, but doing the respectful thing. He's being respectful right there, holding it in place, not coming up in front of these guys. So again, another respectful thing. And it's so hard to go race with anybody else. When you get online, you want to find everybody in Giggity to race with because they're your friends, they're your family. It's not just the race against everybody else, but... Yeah, guys, this is back here.
That was a good
that was very
right
respectful move for him to stay down there.
Yeah, not trying to cut you off there, Puddin', but G9 Gamers just got down below Woodruff and passed him. Bulk's still sitting there. I would imagine on the game he's probably actually ghosted. We just can't see that up here.
I seen a car try to hit him and went right through him. They was gonna try. They tried to hit him to cause a caution, but they went right through him. That's a tough spot to be right there.
The guy that qualified on the pole is now going down below Woodruff. So now that we have some green flag laps, we're seeing what this 51 of Jaywood actually has. As it looks like him and G9, who I didn't see a lot of him earlier in this race, they seem to both have fast cars coming from the back now.
Real quick, guys, I just want to put if you guys don't mind, there's a couple people out there. I got them to pay attention to the Giggity broadcast tonight. Told them I'd give them a little small shout out because they were interested in how all this works. So they're all watching on YouTube right now. Civic, Slamming Gears, we all know, Dirt Dog, War Pigs out there, Steelers and Opus. Thanks for watching, guys. We really do appreciate it. We know some of those names from racing with them, and quite a few of them have also showed interest in Giggity racing. We're still watching Jaywood march back to the front with his custom car right here, guys.
You see how he put the pressure on G9 right there, and then G9 made that little mistake. That's all it takes. You just kind of sit there on someone's bumper, put the pressure on them, and hope they make a mistake. And
Robbie spins out. Sorry about that. Yeah, absolutely. Jaywood's been one of our drivers that he's a very particular, methodical driver. He's not going to push the issue. He'll ride behind you for 10 laps if he needs to. He's not going to push the issue and make you wreck. But he's definitely going to capitalize when you make the slightest mistake. Even if that includes just missing your mark and being a half lane up the track, he's going to capitalize on it.
Yeah, that's just smart driving. I like that.
Well, I think Jaywood pulled the same exact move that Noco pulled on him as we flash back to Sunday's races. As Noco sat there and rode right on his bumper for 10 laps until the moment that Jaywood made that mistake, and he wound up sliding by through the middle of the, I think it was 3 and 4.
Boomhauer back here trying to make a pass on Tommy Armorboy, makes it successfully, and Trey follows him.
Trey goes over there and makes that pass.
Gets on the wall, and Trey makes another pass, and Tommy Armorboy gets right back. So all that ground that Boomhauer just picked up, he loses it all by catching that wall.
He might be losing another spot to, I think that's, who's that going underneath him now? Is that Fat Patch?
Fat Patch in the 86?
Yeah, and the 8.
Yeah.
See, that's...
If we're coming under caution, or is that under the stage?
Yeah, I need to get on.
It could be the end of the stage, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I think that is in the stage.
Yeah,
Alexander Ned out there in YouTube world saying, good luck to the broadcasting crew. Great to have you on board. Everybody loves to hear Alex Ned broadcast. He's a great guy, and he is super fast, too. So thanks for joining, Alex.
That was actually the end of the race, guys.
That was the end of the race?
Elvis handled the win. Jay Wood second, G9 in third, Woodruff fourth, Dark Knight rounding out our top 5. And that's why Trey and them were fighting so hard. Trey got up to 6th, Tommy Armour Boy 7th, and Boomhauer 8th.
Very nice, man. Good performance by Jay Wood. Like we said, he had a big catch up in that instance. So to work his way up to second and do it respectfully was really nice to see him get up there and get a good finish. And awesome job for Pendle out here getting the win. Even though we don't have Jake in the field tonight, this has got to feel really, really good for him to get up there and capitalize on another W.
I actually believe that Pendle just got both stages and the race win.
So
Yes,
that's
he
what
did.
you were talking about earlier. He's pulling half of the double to get max points available. That's what you were talking about earlier, Taddy. So let's see what they got at Martinsville. Martinsville, a tight technical track. Your brakes are your friend there. Normally, you don't always want to say that, but yeah, brakes are faster in a lot of cases. This is one track where that's the case is going to come up. So I can't wait to watch that one coming up next.
Brakes and throttle, getting on the throttle coming off the corners is so tough at Martinsville. You give it just a little too much gas and you're coming around. So the throttle control is going to be major just as well.
Martinsville's all about, are you going to use 4 or 8 tires?
Well, I'm going to use all 8.
If I have the opportunity, I might use 12.
Some of the best
I'm hoping
opportunities.
these guys are respectful, but again, it's going to be a pretty hard one. As we have our race winner here, no pit Pendle. Real quick, bud, are you on always allow? Congratulations on the win. We didn't get an update on the pictures or anything, and I hadn't been watching you stream the whole time. Did you get both stages there also? So a perfect night for you getting ready to go into Martinsville. How are you feeling going into that race?
Actually, to be honest with you, I thought this was going to be my tougher track because I got a really good setup at Martinsville and Darlington practicing it. The car was getting real tight, and tire wear is key, obviously, here. But I didn't think like I had the speed to go out and win the race. But I'll take it. A win's a win, man. I've been finishing second to Jake's been killing me. His teammate and all, but finishing second to him every week's been killing me. But I'm glad I got a win. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here with us, but I'm glad to get Team NOCO another win.
So does
Good
that
job,
mean
man.
everybody else is in trouble at Martinsville? Since you said this isn't your favorite track of the two, so I mean, do you prefer Martinsville, or is everybody going to be in trouble?
No, Martin. This is actually one of my favorite tracks. Darlington is.
Oh, okay, I
don't have-
misunderstood you. I apologize.
Yes, but my setup is better at Martinsville.
Oh.
And Martinsville, I got a really good setup, and long run wise too, I do believe. So I think I'll have a good race at Martinsville. I don't see me winning. Jay Wood's fast. I can't believe. Man, he caught me. He's starting to catch me there at the end. I was glad. I was thinking to myself, man, no cautions. I want to finish this out because I knew if we got cautions, if a caution come out late and we got fresh tires, he was going to beat me. So I was glad to get that win. I want to thank him. He sent me a message saying good win. I appreciate it. He's fast every week, just like Jake. It's tough to beat those guys. And
Well, you guys have a really fast team there at Team NOCO. You guys have Darlington just seems to be your guys' bread and butter.
yeah, we got to thank the boss man on that one. He loves this place. he told us emphasis is winning at Darlington. He's really, really good here. And I'm just glad I got the win for him and Team NOCO. And also myself, I was like in a 200-point cushion behind Jake, and this got me a good points tonight here. And battling Woodruff too. Woodruff's getting better every week.
That's funny. We were just talking about that earlier. Perfect night for you. That's 100. That's 60 points from that race. If you can happen to sweep Martinsville, you have a total of 120. Like you were saying, just a little over 200 points behind. That makes it a whole new championship. 80 points behind, entering with 6 races remaining. You still got a shot here at the championship.
I'm good. I'm glad too, man. Jake's gonna have to quit oversleeping if he's gonna win. But,
so I don't know if you heard it on the broadcast or if you just thought he was sleeping, but the guy's actually sick. He was gonna try to sleep it off. He said that if he didn't get up in time, yeah, he wrote me around 9:10 this morning. He said that he's sick today, so he was gonna try to sleep it off, but he wasn't so sure that he'd be able to. So he wasn't gonna set a timer if he slept through it. He's trying to get better. So. You're taking advantage of a sick man, but for you, congratulations.
Thank you. I don't want to take advantage of Jake. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's nice to win, but I want to beat him when he's here. That's the thing. Honestly, though, I hope he gets feeling better and he can come out maybe race to Martinsville. If not, we'll race next. Well, we'll probably see him Saturday. I'm sure he'll feel better Saturday, but you know, get back out there. His health is more important than a video game. So,
Absolutely, man.
Hopefully, he gets feeling better, and maybe he'll have some solace knowing one of his teammates got to win tonight.
Yeah, maybe that'll help him feel better. It didn't help anyone from underdogs, that's for sure. So, on that note, I know you don't have a whole lot of time. However, I'm looking forward to maybe interviewing you again after Martinsville. So go get your car ready, and we'll see you here shortly on the track.
All right, thanks, sir. I appreciate it, guys.
Congratulations and good luck, man.
Thank you.
On that note, guys, we're going to get this stream ended to anybody that's watching. We're going to end this stream. We're going to take 5 ourselves, recuperate, get ready to go for Martinsville, and we'll be live again here in about 5 to 10 minutes.
Y'all be safe.
I did see someone, Joey, you said, asking if he could join this league. I did want to address that real quick. Get a hold of Taddy.
Yep.
Any of these guys.
I actually,
yeah.
My name is K underscore Taddy, GRL, I think. Maybe it's just K Taddy 6369. I'm posting it right now. I'll leave that up for a second. Write that PSN. Private message
there
me.
It is. Yep.
Again, 5-10 minutes. Watch the next broadcast. We'll have some more time to go over this. But just get a hold of me privately. Contact me. I actually think that I already have you on my friends. So, yeah, just reach out to me and we'll talk.
Thanks for paying attention, Joey.
All right, guys. On that.